LSU is hiring Brian Kelly away from Notre Dame, a stunning move by one of the most accomplished coaches in college football, jumping from the sport's most storied program to a Southeastern Conference powerhouse. The move was confirmed Monday night by a person familiar with the decision who spoke to the Associated Press only on condition of anonymity, because neither school was prepared to make an official announcement. Yahoo Sports first reported the hire. It was the second bombshell in college football in as many days, coming a little more than 24 hours after Southern California pulled Lincoln Riley away from Oklahoma. LSU might have topped it by luring Kelly from South Bend to Baton Rouge. The 60-year-old Kelly became the winningest coach in Notre Dame history earlier this season, surpassing Newt Rockne. In 12 seasons with the Fighting Irish, Kelly is 113-40, including the current run of 5 straight double-digit victory seasons.
By college football writer Ralph D. Russo. After weeks of speculation, TCU announced his hiring when welcoming Dykes back to the Fort Worth campus to meet with his new team. Dykes spent the past 4 seasons at SMU before his return to the other side of the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex. The son of former Texas Tech coach Spike Dykes had been considered a top candidate for the Frogs job since Gary Patterson and TCU mutually agreed October 31 to part ways with 4 games left in the season. The 47-year-old DeBoer met with Washington officials in Fresno, California, early in the day, and the deal was announced a few hours later. DeBoer has spent the past 2 seasons at Fresno State, going 12-6. The Bulldogs went 9-3 this season, including a victory against UCLA. They lead the Mountain West in yards per play and yards per game and are second in scoring. Rocco went 31-23 in 5 seasons at Delaware and reached the FCS semifinals when the tournament was played this past April and May, but that success was sandwiched between losing records in 2019 and this season. Prior to taking over at Delaware, Rocco went 90-42 in 11 seasons as the coach at Liberty and Richmond. The Owls completed a 3-9 season on Saturday with their 7th straight lopsided loss, falling to Navy 38-14. Thad Ward was named interim head coach. Carey went 12-20 at the Philadelphia-based school after being hired away from Northern Illinois in January 2019. He went just 4-15 over the last 2 seasons. Carey was only 2-13 in the American Athletic Conference over the last 2 seasons. The decision came a day after coach Lincoln Riley's decision to leave for Southern California. Rattler was a 5-star prospect and the top high school quarterback in the class of 2019. After a successful 2020 season, he struggled at times to move the team and was booed by the home fans during a close call against West Virginia. He was benched after a slow start against Texas, and Caleb Williams took over and rallied the team to victory. Williams kept the starting job, though Rattler eventually regained favor with the fans. For the season, the Phoenix native completed 75% of his passes for 1,483 yards with 11 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. In 11 games last season, Rattler passed for 3,031 yards with 28 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. He led the Sooners to a 55-20 win over Florida in the Cotton Bowl, setting up all the hype heading into the season. The pair are among 8 players who in recent days have agreed to contracts totaling $1.268 billion in guaranteed pay. Both Scherzer and Seager are leaving the high-spending Los Angeles Dodgers for free agent riches elsewhere, with teams that have aggressively added players before what likely will be Major League Baseball's first work stoppage since 1995. The 5-year collective bargaining agreement expires at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Wednesday, and owners are expected to announce a signing freeze. New York also has pending deals with center fielder Starling Marte, outfielder/first baseman Mark Canha, and infielder Eduardo Escobar, all contingent on successful physicals. Texas committed $500 million over 2 days to middle infielders, following an agreement Sunday on a $175 million, 7-year contract with Gold Glove second baseman Marcus Semien, also subject to a successful physical. Blood testing for HGH began in 2012, and 412 samples with no positive results were collected in the year ending with the 2020 World Series. MLB and the union never publicly announced the stoppage in blood testing, but its absence was revealed Monday when Thomas M. Martin, the independent administrator of the Joint Drug Program, released his annual report. Ozuna was arrested May 29 on charges of aggravated assault by strangulation and battery after police officers said they witnessed him attacking his wife. He was placed on administrative leave under the domestic violence policy. The suspension is retroactive to September 10 and covers the final 24 days of the regular season, costing him approximately $1.55 million of his $12 million salary. Former Commissioner Bud Selig, former Atlanta General Manager John Schuerholz and retired manager Joe Torre, all three also in the hall, are also among the voters scheduled to meet Sunday in Orlando, Florida, to consider candidates whose primary contributions were from 1950-69. Current executives Al Avila, Bill DeWitt, Ken Kendrick, Kim In, and Tony Reagans also are on the panel, along with media members/historians Adrian Burgos Jr., Steve Hurd, Jamie Jaron and Jack O'Connell. McCarthy will be involved in all meetings virtually and will direct game preparations, the team said Monday. McCarthy is the sixth Dallas coach or staff member to be sidelined for the game against the Saints. A virtual news conference scheduled for Monday morning with McCarthy was canceled. Hill, who was sidelined the first 8 games of the season while recovering from a torn knee ligament last year, will miss Thursday night's game at New Orleans and the December 12 game at Washington. He can return December 19 at the New York Giants, the last of 3 consecutive road games. NFL Vice President of Football Operations John Runyon said in a letter to The Hill that the third-year player spent nearly a minute at midfield after the game looking for Simpson and walked the opposite direction from the Dallas locker room to confront the Raiders' left guard. The Carolina Panthers' often injured running back will miss the remainder of the season with an ankle injury, the team announced Monday. McCaffrey had an MRI that revealed the injury was severe enough to put him on injured reserve. Because of his anticipated recovery time and given that it would be his second time on IR, the news means McCaffrey will miss out on Carolina's final 5 regular season games following its bye week. McCaffrey missed 5 games earlier this season with a hamstring injury.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.